Okay, picture this. You're on a first date. It's going great. Conversation is flowing, and then out of nowhere, you can't even name why, the vibe just shifts. Or maybe you're in a job interview, and the second the hiring manager walks in, there's a knot in your stomach, something just feels off. We've all been there, right? In those moments where it feels like an invisible current is running under the surface of the actual words being said.
But have you ever really stopped to ask why? Why is it that some people make you feel instantly at ease, like you could tell them anything, while other people, they could be smiling and saying all the right things, but your whole body just tenses up. You're on guard. What is that?
Well, here's a wild idea for you. What if the most important conversations you have every single day are completely silent? What if there's a constant subconscious dialogue happening between your nervous system and the nervous system of every single person you meet? A conversation that's deciding who's safe and who's a threat, long before your conscious brain has a say.
Now, understanding this changes everything. We tell ourselves these stories, right? Oh, I'm just an anxious person. But what if that's not your personality? What if it's your physiology? What if that feeling of being lazy or unmotivated is actually a biological state of shutdown, a deep, ancient survival program kicking in? And that feeling of just not clicking with someone, yeah, that's your body's internal alarm system picking up on tiny, invisible cues of danger.
So by the end of this explainer, you are going to get what is basically a new user manual for your own body. We're going to pull back the curtain on this invisible ladder that your nervous system is constantly climbing up and down. And I promise you, once you see it, you will never experience your own emotions or your relationships with others the same way again. Okay, so it all boils down to this. Your body really only has 3 primary modes of operation. And these aren't just vague feelings. They are distinct full-body physiological states that your nervous system uses for one reason and one reason only, to keep you alive.
At the very top, we have the safe and social state. This is when you feel grounded, present, connected. It's that feeling when you're laughing with good friends or when you're totally lost in a creative project, in that flow state. Basically, your body is getting the all-clear signal, which lets your brain's most creative and intelligent parts come online.
But the moment your system detects a threat, it shifts. It drops down into the fight or flight state. This is all about mobilization. Your brain's alarm bell goes off, and it floods your system with stress hormones. Your heart starts pounding, your muscles get tight, your body is literally preparing for battle. And this isn't just for, running from a saber-toothed tiger. It's the exact same feeling you get before a huge presentation or in the middle of a heated argument.
So what happens if the threat feels too big? Like you can't fight it and you can't run away? Well, your body has one last trick up its sleeve. It pulls the emergency brake. This is the shutdown state. This is the most ancient part of our nervous system, and when it takes over, everything just slows down. It can feel like numbness, like you're totally spaced out, or just heavy and frozen. It's the body's way of playing dead to survive.
So let's just quickly recap that. Safe and social is for connecting and creating. Fight or flight is for mobilizing to survive. And shutdown is for conserving energy to endure. 3 different states, each with a very clear biological job to do. The whole game is just figuring out which state you're in and why.
All right, so how does our body even know when it's safe enough to get into that top-tier, creative, connected state? Well, the answer is in this incredible biological process that's happening right now, completely beneath your conscious awareness. It's called neuroception. You can think of it like your nervous system's own personal surveillance system, and it's running 24/7. It is constantly scanning your environment, and especially the people in it, for thousands of tiny signals that answer one fundamental question: am I safe right now?
And what's on its checklist? Well, it's not listening to the words you say. It's listening to the music in your voice, the tone and cadence. It's watching the tiny muscles around your eyes to see if that smile is real. It's checking out your posture. All of this nonverbal data is what tells your nervous system whether it should open up and connect or brace for impact.
Now, this is where it gets really, really cool. Our nervous systems are not designed to be islands. They are designed to sync up with each other. It's called co-regulation. When you're in a room with a truly calm, grounded person, their regulated state is like a powerful radio signal of safety. Your neuroception picks up on that, and your own body can actually start to calm down too. A calm leader can steady an entire anxious team, not with what they say, but with their very physiology. We are hardwired to sync up.
And that brings us to maybe the most powerful idea in this whole explainer. If these are just biological states, how do we actually move between them?
I want you to imagine these three states as rungs on a ladder. So at the very top, you have that safe, social, creative space. In the middle, you've got that mobilized, energized state of fight or flight, and down at the very bottom is the disconnected, frozen state of shutdown. Every single day, sometimes every single hour, based on the safety cues we get from the world, we are moving up and down this autonomic ladder.
And here it is. This is the most important thing I'm going to say. If you feel anxious, overwhelmed, or shut down, you are not broken. There is nothing wrong with your personality. You are simply on a lower rung of your biological ladder. And the best news of all is that you can learn consciously how to start climbing back up.
So, how do we do it? We use our body's built-in reset button. It's called the vagal brake. It's a part of your vagus nerve that literally acts like a brake on your heart rate. When you send a signal of safety to your body, this brake engages, and it quickly slows your heart down, pulling you out of that frantic, mobilized state and back towards calm. And the most direct way to hit that brake? It's your own breath.
And look, this isn't just some wellness fantasy. It is a real, measurable, physiological change. A long, slow exhale is one of the most powerful signals of safety you can send your own body. It literally tells your brain, hey, the danger is past, we can stand down now. And as you can see, the impact on your heart rate is almost immediate.
In fact, you know what? Let's just try it right now. It's called a physiological sigh. I want you to take 2 sharp, quick inhales through your nose, like this. And now, 1 long, slow, extended exhale through your mouth. That simple action is one of the fastest known ways to hack your own nervous system, to tell your body it's safe, and to start climbing that ladder.
So why does any of this really matter? Because the rung you're on at any given moment determines not just how you feel, but how you think, how you create, and how you show up in the world. Check out this simple experiment. It tells you everything you need to know about your own mind. Researchers had one group solve a maze where a mouse was escaping a threatening owl. Another group had the mouse moving towards a piece of cheese. The group that was moving towards safety and reward, they solved way more creative problems afterwards. A state of safety doesn't just feel good, it literally unlocks parts of your brain that you cannot access when you feel under threat. Which brings us to the final crucial takeaway. That feeling of safety and connection, it is not a luxury. It's not just a nice little bonus. It is a biological imperative. Your nervous system absolutely requires these cues of safety from other people to access its highest states of creativity, intelligence, and health.
And that leaves all of us with a really powerful responsibility, doesn't it? This silent conversation is happening all the time, whether we're paying attention or not. You are constantly broadcasting signals of either safety or threat to everyone around you. So the real question isn't if you're communicating, it's what are you communicating? So I'd love to know, what is one small cue of safety you can offer someone in your life today? Let us know down in the comments, because maybe changing the world just starts with changing the feeling in the room.